So Dilip did the first one, which were little stops. Tommy, Abhilash Tommy, another youngster, another pilot, so adventurous. And he comes up and says, no sir, I will do non-stop. So we assisted him in that, and he did much of it non-stop without any great problem. As you know, around the globe means crossing the equator twice over, once and one second time, and then only it calls as something that you have done. So he did that, and then he came to the third stage of his very much more difficult task, which was to take part in this race, which was happening recently. And of course, once again, compliments to you, Vartika, and your team, and keep up the spirit and keep going. There will be many more events to participate in, and I'm sure you will come out with flying colors there also. Thank you very much.
The Volvo Group, Commodore Nagpal, Captain Dilip Donde, Mr. Ratnakar, and all the distinguished guests of this evening. Thank you for having us here, and I'm extremely honored to be part of this event. It's unfortunate that I could not get my crew along today, but I will try to make up for their absence. So, this project of ours was named as, the name of the project was slated as the Navika Sagar Parikrama, which is about the all-women circumnavigation of the globe. It was the first time that something of this sort was happening in the country, so obviously there were a lot of apprehensions that were associated with it. The idea of Sagar Parikrama, or circumnavigation of the globe, was conceptualized by Admiral Manohar Awadhi, who has been the brainchild of Indian circumnavigations. It took him several years to bring this idea of his into shape. And then the last 9 years, we saw 3 circumnavigations, starting from 2009, when Captain Dilip Donde completed his solo circumnavigation, becoming the first Indian to do so. And then in 2012, Commander Abhilash Tommy did a solo non-stop. And obviously the next thing was to have an all-female crew to be doing the same thing. But in the last 9 years, the genre of, I would say, the genre of challenges that were associated with the circumnavigation shifted from solo sailing to sailing with a crew. While solo sailing can be a challenge to a person, and the challenge is a person sailing solo has to deal with his own self and to sail with himself and to sail his boat around. Sailing with a crew became a challenge in itself, because not only were we to sail with our own selves, we had to sail with each other, and we also had to live with each other. On top of it, the challenge came when, because of the fact that we did not have any background of ocean sailing prior to volunteering for this project. So it was sort of a completely new thing for us. Majority part of the crew, also belonging to the mountainous sides of the country, had never even seen ocean in their lifetimes. So this came out as the first challenge. Nevertheless, we took it in a sportive spirit and we volunteered for it, not knowing what life had to offer after that. So we started picking up sailing on small enterprise class boats, learning about the basics of sailing. And then slowly graduated to bigger J24 boats. And we started improving on our seamanship skills, started learning about how to handle a sailboat and what sailing was all about. We were then sent to study various theoretical courses. And these are some of the things that we studied in various naval schools in Cochin, about the theory of sailing, learning about the basic seamanship, communication, weather prediction. But definitely this was not going to be a classroom course, and we had to have some practical experience on the boat. So soon we were thrown into reality, and we came to Insv Mandavi here in Goa, where Insv Madai became a training platform for us. Days in and days out, we would see ourselves working in the bilges, getting our hands dirty, repairing equipment on board, learning about the boat inside out, repairing 100 kgs of sails, learning about basic woodwork, and of course, safety being the paramount factor, we had to learn about various safety drills that we needed to know for sailing around the world. This is a short introduction of the crew. We were 6 of us from 6 different branches of the Indian Navy. So,
Now please take a seat. Can I now request Commodore Nagpal to say a few words?
I think the kind of lessons that we have learned in last few hours is something unimaginable, and something which these girls have done, which is beyond imagination. And I just want to say one incident. I served 32 years in the Navy, and in the Directorate of Naval Design, Vartika is a naval architect, and sometimes few years some lady officers, I said, for what? They told me they have to go circumvent and they have to go for sailing. I said, what for? They are doing a great job designing here, so why you want to disturb them? And they will be away from their main job, profession. But today I realized that the decisions which were taken during that time by the Navy, and what kind of women empowerment we have seen, and not only that, what she spoke today are great lessons for management schools. So with this, I thank every one of you, and I thank particularly Vartika for making us so knowledgeable and sharing her experience with us. Thank you very much.
Geeta Rao. Mercy. And of course, this is a simple salvo which will keep reminding you. Then we have a